Hello everyone and welcome to Understanding Economics. My name is Manvi Mnocha and today we are going to talk about a very interesting topic, how Corona and lockdown impacted our India's economy in the year 2020. Yes, you're thinking it right. Our economy. Our economy suffered a lot, the GDP clashed, but how? But how it did happen? So, to begin with, I would like to highlight the basic points on which we are going to talk about in this video. First, sneak peek in the past, like where our economy was initially standing and where the government was planning to take our economy in future. Second, what were the immediate economic impacts on our economy, on our country when the lockdown was imposed? Third, what did the government did? What were the government policies did the government do to save our economy after saving the lives of people? Alright. Fourth, what were how did the economic sectors, various economic sectors reacted? These economic sectors are the pillars of the economy. If one pillar is suffering, if one pillar is affected, then the entire economy will suffer. So let's just get started. Right. So we'll begin with our first point, a little bit sneak peek in the past, like where our economy was initially standing and what was the government where the government was planning to take our economy. It's like a story. Before this lockdown and 2020 happened, our economy was already going through a slowdown. Our economy was already not going very well, and the GDP growth rate was also not very much good. Why? You remember in 2016 and 17, no doubt in that year the GDP growth rate in that year was phenomenal, and before that also our GDP was doing great. But after that, our GDP started declining. It started falling. It was not very much good after that. Why? You see, in 2016 and 17, our government took two, major economic decisions which created history. And we all are aware of them, right? You are thinking it right, yes. It's demonetization and GST. As you can see on the screen, and you can also see the dates on which they happened. Demonetization was announced on 8th of November 2016 and GST was launched on 1st of July 2017. So these were the two major economic decisions which the government took in 2016 and 17, due to which our businesses, they started fluctuating and business started falling, and due to which our overall the economy also started, declining. The GDP growth rate started declining. So it was because of that. But after that, someone has to do something, right? Because we cannot go like this. Like initially, our GDP growth rate was lying between 7 to 8%, and now it's lying 6.5 and 6.8%. No, no doubt it's a very minor difference, but still, it's not good for our health of our economy. So someone has to do something. So the government came to rescue in 2019 with the budget of 2019 and 20. And with a goal of making our economy a $5 trillion economy. At that particular time period, our the worth of our economy was lying in between $2 and $3 trillion economy, and it was literally like doubling up the numbers. So it was a very controversial issue that if it is possible that till 2024 we'll be able to make our economy a $5 trillion economy. It's a huge thing, right? So that's why it was a very controversial issue at that particular time period. And 2020 was like a year जिसमें हमारी government को take off लेना था. But 2020 ने आते ही पता है क्या कहा? Just listen to this.
रुको जरा, सबर करो.
Exactly. 2020 came and it इससे सारे अरमानों पे हमारे पानी फेर दिया. And it came without any prior notice. This corona lockdown in 2020 came like a prior notice, जिसके लिए हम शायद ready भी नहीं थे. And then again these things started happening. On 24th March 2020 the lockdown was announced. The nationwide lockdown was announced, due to which 1.3 billion population of the country was restricted towards their homes and their movement was restricted. Second, after when the lockdown was announced, now we'll come to our points. Like what were the immediate economic impacts on our country because of the imposition of lockdown. So as you can see on the screen, these were some economic impacts, but I'll not say that these economic impacts had any greater significance on our macroeconomics. But in society, even in points का हमारी society भी इतना major impact पड़ा कि अगर touch wood not, अगर in future हमें फिर से एक nationwide lockdown adopt करना पड़े, उसको लेना पड़े, So, we really need to consider these points because these are very important societal points. These economic impacts has a very great significance of the society. So, I'll try to quickly wrap them all. So, first is panic buying. As the name suggests, panic buying, you can see the definition on the screen. अभी लॉकडाउन हमारे पूरी तरह से अनाउंस भी नहीं हुआ था कि लोग स्टार्टेड रशिंग टुवर्ड्स द ग्रोसरी स्टोर्स, दे स्टार्टेड बाइंग इन बल्क ऑल द बेसिक नेसेसिटीज. जिसकी वजह से क्या हुआ कि उनके लोगों ने अपने घरों को बेसिक नेसेसिटीज का वेयर हाउस बना दिया, जिसकी वजह से जो हमारी शॉप्स थी वहां पे जितने भी ग्रोसरी स्टोर्स थे वहां पे बेसिक नेसेसिटीज की फॉर ए शॉर्ट पीरियड ऑफ टाइम शॉर्टेज पड़ गई. रियली द शॉर्टेज ऑफ बेसिक नेसेसिटीज इन आवर कंट्री इज अ वेरी बिग थिंग. और रही बात सोशल डिस्टेंसिंग की, तो सोशल डिस्टेंसिंग का तो नामो निशान मिट गया था उस टाइम. सोशल डिस्टेंसिंग जो ओवरऑल पर्पस था हमारी लॉकडाउन का, उसका तो उसकी कोई वैल्यू ही नहीं थी. Second point, migration of laborers. Laborers started migrating from urban sector to rural sector. Why the laborers comes to urban sector just to earn, and if for 21 days they are not going to earn even a single penny, they can't survive. Because हमारे लेबर भाई बहन होते हैं, वो अगर दिन का 100 रुपए कमाते हैं तो उसे 100 रुपए को उसी दिन कंज्यूम कर लेते हैं. They don't save, and they didn't had any saving to survive for 21 days. That's why they started that there is no use for staying in that urban sectors and wasting their money. So better to go back homes and there they have their families and all who could support each other and they could survive. So that's why labor started migrating. Next, unemployment. As you can see on the screen, you can see a graph in which it's clearly indicating that in the month of April and May, the unemployment rate was the highest in the entire year. When the lockdown was imposed, obviously there was a lack of demand. That's why there was the companies shutting down. And when the companies shut down, the employers were fired, and that's why the unemployment rate increased in the month of April and May. Next, Sensex. We all know what Sensex is, right? So obviously when the companies will shut down, the unemployment rate will increase, the demand will fall down, the Sensex will obviously fall. And that's what happened after the lockdown. The Sensex started falling. The price of shares started falling. Next, prices of crude oil. The prices of crude oil was already fluctuating before the lockdown thing was happened. These crude oil are one of the, very important components when we talk about the imports of India. These are the crown of this, the prices of crude oil. The crude oil is like a crown in the imports of our country. India spends a lot for importing the crude oil, and this price of crude oil was already fluctuating before the lockdown was happened. So when the lockdown was finally imposed in India also, the prices of crude oil started falling. So these were some basic immediate impacts on our economy after the lockdown was imposed. And now we'll move to the third point. What did the steps that the government took? What were the policies that government adopted to save our economy after saving the lives of people? Now, coming to what did the government did to save our economy? Basically there are two policies through which the government controls the entire demand and supply of our economy. And by controlling the entire demand and supply of the economy, the government can control the entire economy, right? To stabilize the economy, there are basically two policies. First is the monetary policy and another is the fiscal policy. These two policies does not directly come under the government of India. The monetary policy comes under the RBI and the fiscal policy comes under the government of India, right? So first, coming to what is the monetary policy, you can see on the screen the definition of monetary policies, and now you can see what were the changes which were brought under monetary policy to stabilize our economy. So I'll not get into the detailed explanation of all of these changes. It could take a while and it will get really very technical also. So I'll try to quickly wrap them. Alright. So first is the reduction in repo rate. Repo rate is something at which the RBI lends money to commercial banks, right? Right? So it was reduced from 5.15% to 4.4%. That is around 75 basis points, or you can also say 75%, right? Next is the cut down in the reverse repo rate. Now the reverse repo rate is something at which the RBI takes money from the banks. Yes, it's true. RBI also takes money from the bank, through which the commercial banks can earn interest from lending RBI the money, right? So it was also cut down to 4%, and due to which on a daily average all the commercial banks were lending or parking money with the RBI around 3 lakh crore rupees, which is huge, right? Third point is the loan moratorium. Moratorium simply means किसी चीज पे रोक लगा देना कि अभी जैसे हमारा लॉकडाउन अनाउंस हो गया था and the people didn't had any money in their hands, they couldn't earn, due to which unemployment was increasing and all. So उसकी वजह से the people didn't had any money to pay their loans. So the loan moratorium was imposed on the term loans, जिसकी वजह से the people does not have to pay any term loan or any installment of their term loan for at least for 3 months, right? Now next is the CRR. CRR was also reduced to 3% and by 100 basis points, like you can also say 1%, right? The CRR was also reduced, as you know what is the CRR. CRR is the amount of money which the commercial banks have to keep with the RBI, right? Next is the LTRO, that is the long-term operations, long-term repo operations. This is the kind of a long-term loan which the banks takes from the RBI. So LTRO was also imposed, and the LTRO, through LTRO also the commercial banks could took a huge amount of money from RBI. Next is the ease of working capital financing. The working capital, as we all know, that the working capital is very important for every business operation, and that's how the RBI took measures so that the businessman can easily take loan for their working capital from the commercial banks. Next is a 3 months interest moratorium on the working capital. If the businessmen have took loan for their working capital, they don't have to pay any interest on it for at least for 3 months because of this policy, because of this measure. Next is the increase of MSF, that is the marginal standing facility. Now it's also type of a loan which the commercial banks takes from the RBI. It's type of a loan which the commercial banks takes from the RBI in very extreme conditions. So that's why MSF was also imposed, and it was around 3%, and it's like a window through which the RBI can lend money to the commercial banks, and due to which according to RBI just say 1,37,000 crore rupees RBI can lend to the commercial banks, and it's a very huge, right? So similarly there are deferment of NSFR and allowing the fresh liquidity. These all measures, इनका होलसेल मोटिव यही था कि जिससे कि हमारी कंट्री में कैश फ्लो इंक्रीज हो, मनी सप्लाई इंक्रीज हो, जिससे कि लोगों के हाथों में कैश आए, लिक्विडिटी इंक्रीज हो, एंड द पीपल विल स्टार्ट इंक्रीजिंग देयर डिमांड. सो द होलसेल मोटो, एज यू कैन सी, यू कैन आप आइडिया लगा सकते हैं कि इन सब जो हमारे मेजर्स थे मॉनेटरी पॉलिसी के अंडर थे, इन सब का एक ही मोटो था कि टू इंक्रीज द कैश फ्लो and increase the money supply in the hands of people, increase the liquidity in the hands of people, right? So now coming to what were the fiscal policies. Now coming to the fiscal policies, as you can see on the screen, the definition of fiscal policies, what are fiscal policies and all. Remember the government announced a stimulus of 20 lakh crore rupees on around 13th May of 2020 to stimulate our stabilize our economy, right? So yeah, out of which 8.01 lakh crore rupees was announced by RBI under monetary policy. So now we'll discuss how the remaining balance was distributed on various sectors of the economy by our finance ministry to stabilize the economy under fiscal policies, right? So first, 5.94 lakh crore rupees was spent on MSME, electrical distribution companies and the shadow banks. Next, 3.10 lakh crore rupees was to be incurred on migrant workers and as a credit to farmers. Next, 1.5 lakh crore rupees was to be incurred on agri-infrastructure activities and other allied agriculture activities. Next, the remaining 48,000 crore rupees, 48,100 crore rupees was spent on other structural reforms of the country. So that's how, I'll not get into the detailed explanation of all the sectors and all the distributions. It could take a while, but still, this was the, ऊपर से देखे तो that's how the government was to divide the budget of 20 lakh crore rupees on the entire country to spend to increase the money supply of the country and the cash flow of the country, so that the demand of the country would again be normal and the country and the economy will be in the equilibrium again, right? So that's basically that the government tried to do, right? That doesn't happen exactly, but still it brought our economy back on track, and now as you can see the economy is doing quite well, right? So with this we come to the end of our third point. What did the government did? What were the government policies to stabilize our economy, right? So now from here we'll begin our fourth and last point, that how did the various sectors of our economy reacted to the situation and how they tackled it and what they did to maintain their level of profits. So with this we come to the last part of our video, and that is how did the various sectors of the economy, the various pillars of the economy reacted to the situation, right? So we'll divide this into the two parts. First, the sectors which were worstly affected with the situation, and second, the sectors who took advantage out of it, who took this as a blessing in disguise, right? Who find an opportunity in this situation. So first we'll discuss the sectors which were worstly affected with the situation. As you can see on the screen, these are some sectors who were worst affected with the lockdown and this situation. The first is the airline, this aviation industry. This aviation industry comprises of all the airline mode transports and the airplane manufacturing companies and even the military, right? So this sector was worstly affected, as you know, because of this corona was not a part of India, right? It spread in entire world. So nobody could travel from one country to another country, not even domestically, right? So according to IATA, airline industry loses around $113 billion just out of the passenger revenue, right? So let's move to our second industry, that is the hospitality industry. Hospitality industry comprises all the hotels, restaurants, foods and beverages places, right? So even the lockdown was lifted, these places were still closed for a very long time period, right? So and also the tourism industry, I forgot it. Okay, the tourism industry also alone loses around 15,000 crore rupees in the month of March and April, right? So it's also the part of hospitality sector. Next is the MSME. You see, MSME comprises of the 30% of India's GDP. And MSMEs, as you all know, MSME means like the medium, small and marginal sector enterprises. These are all the small scale industries, and because of which, now also these MSME are still struggling after the post-lockdown period. They are still struggling because of this lockdown and corona which happened in 2020. Right. Next comes our automobile industry. Now, automobile industry, we can divide this again into the two parts. Automobile industry suffered a lot. Like first, you remember when the lockdown was imposed, there was a lot of India and China crisis, because the automobile industry imports 27% of its automobile parts from China. That's why, the automobile industry also suffered a lot. Second, the sales. The sales of automobile sectors fell drastically, right? As you can see on the screen, you'll be able to find some automobile companies whose sales went negative from the financial year 2019 to financial year 2020. Their sales literally went negative. So that's also the reason why automobile industry really suffered a lot. Next comes our entertainment industry. Now, entertainment industry comprises of all the cinema, multiplexes and malls, all the places where you can find a huge crowd. Now, these are all the crowded places where you will find a huge crowd, and that's why the reason is that they were closed for a very long time period, and that's why they comes under the list of worstly affected sectors, right? So now we'll move to the sectors who took an opportunity out of it and who took it as a blessing in disguise, this lockdown period, right? Now, as I told you in the beginning that when the lockdown was imposed, stock market got clashed. Prices of shares started falling. Now, generally in this situation, nobody would invest in stock market because it's such a horrible situation that nobody knew what would happen next, and everybody starts to get panic. But there were some companies who didn't panic, and in fact, when the price of share fall, they started to increase their purchase of share. For example, LIC bought 60% of the shares in the span of 9 months. But still, the question is why, how, and how it is a blessing in disguise. You see, 2020 depression period was not a normal depression period, right? Like a normal depression period, we don't the recovery part. We don't know when the recovery part comes. It takes a lot of time, right? But the 2020 depression period occurred not because of some economic factors. Now, what are the economic factors? Economic factors are like the population, increase in population and increase in poverty rate, right? This 2020 depression period not happened because of these economic factors, but some non-economic factors that were lockdown and corona. That's when the lockdown lifted and corona cases started to fall. Our economy took a V-shaped growth. Now, what is a V-shaped growth? Like when the depression period comes, the economy start to fall, right? And when the economy is at like the bottom of it, it start to rise like a V, right? The economy start taking a V-shaped growth, and the Sensex started rising, and everything start becoming normal, right? And hence the companies were able to extract a lot of profit out of this situation. Now, this thing is called SIP. Now, this is not a very technical term. You can also do investment even if you are not earning any income, right? So, but if you are a beginner and you are doing the investment for the first time, I would like to suggest you that don't put सिर्फ वो पैसा अपना इन स्टॉक मार्केट में लगाएं जो अगर पूरी तरह से खत्म भी हो जाए तो भी you don't have to worry about anything, you don't lose anything. Because there is a saying that for one moment you can even trust your ex, but never trust a Sensex. The Sensex can rise anytime, can fall anytime, so don't trust it. So with this we come to the end of our story, and if you find this video a little bit helpful and relevant, do like, subscribe and share, because you see it's my first video and I really need your support at this particular period of time. So yeah. I'll see you next time. Till then, take care. Bye-bye. Also guys, if you have any doubt or anything you would like to share, do let me know in the comment section. I'll try to reply them all. And do let me know if there is any video you want me to make, and I'll try to cover everything, and I'll try to make it really very simple. So if there is anything you find it technical or you don't get that thing, do let me know in the comment section. Or you can also DM me on Instagram. You can find the link in the description. So yeah, thank you.